This is where speech writing becomes an art. This is where it becomes the differentiator of how invested you are in a speech. A few examples, I saw wonderful examples used by Anjan, Venu sir, or even Srinivas with regard to humor. Look at the emotional waves that you bring into your speech. Suddenly from a high where you're having everyone in a tempo of lighter, happy, and then you say, my mom said this. Monotony doesn't just come in your tone. It comes in your emotions. It comes in your experiences. It comes in the way you're projecting and taking the audience on a ride to keep them glued to you. In the same story where I was happy talking about Facebook, photo, happiness, I had a part of it which talked about my dad in ICU. I had a talk about after the ICU part where I'm talking about humor that my wife checked my phone and she said she won't approve that Bangkok trip. Look at the waves that you can create in your speech with which the audience will stay active. You talk of just humor, you talk of just seriousness, you talk of just insights. I've seen walking encyclopedias making me sleep. The problem is not the idea or the depth of it alone. It is how you can engage the audience's emotions into your speech. That's about the waves, the twists and turns, and the humor part of it that you involve. At this point, when I talked about my mom, I could have left it there, but I added one question with which you came into the picture, you built your story. After I said, my mom said this to me, I was lost, I was questioning what did I do wrong, and then I asked, before moving on to the next point, I asked this question, are you where I was in 2018? This could have been skipped, but by having this, each one of you all are thinking about your life story of where you are messing it up. Otherwise, you are thinking about my story alone. And that won't move you as much as your story of what you are doing wrong will move you. And so a rhetorical question made that difference there. So things like this, tools like this which are there. So the language, if you are good at language, ChatGPT, however you want to use it, good expressions or good emotions shared with a synchrony of words or something which is thought out. At the end of the speech, I have this line, which is something which a lot of people resonate even today and tell that I still remember that line. It said, love unexpressed, gratitude untold, and gifts undelivered. Serve none. These are the words which I've kind of played around with a lot of times before I built this line, because that sums up the theme or the gist of what I want to accomplish with that speech and with that message. So think of how you can use and juggle creatively. Like I said, this is art. You look at so many examples, you look at so many interesting things which hit you. Ask yourself, not copying it, ask yourself, how can you use that philosophy which hit you into your speeches?